Hey you guys, welcome. Yes, I'm in the bathroom. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. I don't have a lot of filming space right now, but I'm doing the best I can. So, if you are a subscriber and you watch my stuff, welcome back. And if you're brand new to my videos, to my channel, welcome. Glad you're here. I do a lot of different topics. Psychology, spirituality, things along those lines, and just really whatever moves me to talk about, whatever I'm passionate about. And I started a couple years back actually, doing a series of videos on a particular case, and that is what we're going to get into in this video. This video is not going to be particularly long. I'm going to try, I'm in a hurry this evening, but I want to get this started for you guys, okay? A lot of the content that I had to take a break from and left behind, that I had to regroup my brain. Some of the stuff is really heavy, and get some new perspective on things. Some time has gone by, but I have always had every intention on coming back and finishing that stuff for you guys, okay? So in this video, we're going to get into the Watts family, Chris and Shanann Watts, the murder case that happened back in 2018. It's been 5 years. I recently posted a tribute to Shanann and the girls in my shorts. And ever since I ran across that case, I think about them quite a bit. And it is one of those cases that's really heartbreaking, tragic, heavy, and you have to take breaks from it sometimes. But and here's what I'm going to do so I don't get too overwhelmed. I'm going to break this stuff down little by little, because this is a case with so much involved, so many dynamics. A lot of channels and people out there, okay, well, we already know. There's people bashing the victim, her family. There's people that want to sit and talk detective work, play guessing games, and who did what to who, and I believe this was going on and that. Okay, I'm not too along those lines. What I am most interested in is, number one, supporting the victims and the family. Okay, that is what I'm all about. I don't want to be any disrespect to them. Just a little disclaimer: these videos are for educational purposes only. Again, always do your own research. And this is not in any way, shape, or form to disrespect the victims in this case or the Rousset family at all. I fully support them 100%. But, there are all different types of information out there about this case. It really went crazy. It really went nasty. Okay. And, took a turn for the absolute worst that I don't know if any other case has ever gone that way, where the victim becomes this target for all of these pecking hens to sit up with an ignorant mind and henpeck her every move. From what she was like as a mother and a wife, and it's just insanity, okay? And there's a reason why all of that got started, and I've explained that in earlier videos. If you're not familiar with the case, please look it up. There's plenty of information out there on it, okay? But I have explained this in previous videos about why they started bashing Shanann, the wife, who, just to give you a bit of information, Chris Watts, on August 13th, 2018, murdered his pregnant wife, 15 weeks pregnant with their child, a boy, and their 2 baby daughters, 3 and 4, Celeste and Bella. He murdered them and disposed of their bodies in a very horrible way. I mean, this man's mind, the goof, we'll get into it later. But there are actually people out there that protect this man, that believe he's innocent, that believe that his wife did something. There's a reason why they got on that choo-choo train because of a technique and a tactic that the detectives used to get an initial confession out of the killer, out of Chris Watts. They had to feed him a certain story. It's just a tactic. I've even used the same tactic when I knew I was dealing with a person. And a lot of times in relationships early on, until you're psychologically educated enough, you won't know the technical psychological name for what you're dealing with. You won't be able to diagnose that. You won't know, well, that's a covert narcissist with grandiose ideations and a touch of this or that. You won't know any of that shit at first. All you will know is what your partner's like. And you'll catch on after a while. And you will know how you have to talk to your partner. You dig what I'm saying? I know y'all do. For the people out there that go, oh, Chris, he was telling the truth when he said Shanann did it and he blamed it on her and they railroaded him and blah, 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 blah. If you don't believe that it was an actual tactic to get a liar because they knew they were speaking to a liar, that's why they held such a long conversation with him first, to pick up on what he's like. And they're very trained. They can do it in minutes or hours, where it takes us months and years to pick up on it in our partners, okay? If you don't believe it was a tactic, most of you at some point in your life, and I hope to God not, but those of you that might can relate to this, think about a time in your life where you had a partner or were dating someone or whatever. You got to know that person and you know how you're going to get information out of them. If they were not a straight up, if they were scared of confrontation or scared of being vulnerable, or they were, the type of person that you had to, like a little child, that you had to pull the information out of them and prompt them. Okay, that is very a childlike characteristic of a covert narcissist. Very trained professionals know this stuff already, and they are prepared for it when in doing interrogations. We don't. We have to learn it by accidentally getting involved with one and then going to therapy and studying psychology a while and actually having to have fucking experience living with it. Then we figure it out. But yes, that is one of the key characteristics of a very emotionally immature, underdeveloped, childlike part of the mind of a covert narcissist. All of you guys don't see that. The public, the family, no, but all they see is a man. Yeah, I'm going to work. Cool. I mean, I don't think the dude uttered 3 words in his lifetime, not on camera anyway. So people assume this is a grown man. He looks like a grown man. Seems like a grown man. He takes care of the kids. He goes to work. Behind closed doors, a covert narcissist is not a grown man. Behind closed doors, they are very childlike. They let that mask slip off with their romantic partner, their wife or husband, okay? So, think back. If you've ever been in a relationship with someone who might have been, because we humans are multidimensional, multifaceted. We might be really super mature in so many other areas. We might just be like, yeah, I can handle this, this, and this, and this. Like, I can multitask. I can do a lot of things at once. I can work with the public well. Yep, got it. Thank you. Have a nice day. I can be very professional. But then when I get off work, I might have something that I go through in life that I'm not very mature with. That I just flip out and start acting like a little child, and I can't fucking cope with it, and I'm pouting and I'm becoming manipulative, and I hypothetically, okay, I don't do this shit, but I may have back in my teen years, but you get what I'm saying. You've got to think about this really deeply and try to understand it. That is what it's like with a covert narcissist. Everybody else And that's how it is with a lot of human beings, especially people with personality disorders. They will try to mask that shit in public, and they might be very, very highly intelligent, high IQ. It doesn't mean they're stupid. It doesn't mean they're uneducated. They can perform tasks and, do many things very accurately, many of them. And, for just the short time that the public gets to see them or their friends get to be around for an hour or two, go have a beer, have a cookout, just the short time that people spend with them and say, well, I've known him 25 years. No, you haven't. I hear especially dudes say this kind of shit all the time, backing the dude up when it's the woman, the female partner, is the only one who has seen this fucking abuse or who has seen what he's really like, because they're not going to let that guard down in front of their homies. Are you kidding me? For a man, no, there are male and female narcissists. Yes, of course, and male and female abusers all the time. But for a man who is a covert narcissist or any type of issues or doesn't feel very manly on the inside, is insecure and low self-esteem and feels awkward, and for a man with covert narcissism, and that's a lot of shit, spiteful, vindictive, hateful, resentful, desperate need to control because they feel wormy inside, and they control you through all kinds of weird ways. We're going to get all into that. But yeah, he is not, that's one of his worst nightmares, is trying to earn the respect of his male counterparts, not wanting to look like a sissy or not wanting to look vulnerable. In fact, a lot of these covert narcissists are, even at 30, are afraid to admit that they love their woman because they're afraid that the guys they'll think I'm a sissy. They have a part of their brain that never grew up, that got stuck back in trauma in childhood somewhere and didn't grow, or drugs and alcohol, different factors, okay? They have an area that is very childlike. So I want you guys really clued in on this, okay? And I have a lot of experience with it, unfortunately. And I'm getting back on this because I feel like that is what God, the universe, whatever, the powers that be wants me to do, because it came into my life. It changed my life forever. I had to learn a lot about it, had to go through a lot, and it nags at me all the time to share this with people, share it with the world, because there are a lot of people that are so clueless about this personality type. Now, do I give a shit whether I convert those people that are bashing Shanann, or am I on some mission to be so understood and have them be so understood and stop all the trolls? And I'll never do that. That's a waste of my beautiful energy. I will never be able to do that. But I will put this stuff out here and I will do my part. Okay, what knowledge I have and insight, I want it to reach as many people as possible. And I think that if we all do that, if we have something that we think we can share that can make a difference, I think that that's our responsibility. I mean, that's just me. It's just how I look at it. Okay, guys? All right, so before we go any further, we've talked about what this case is about, who's involved. There's a lot to it, okay? And I'm not really making this particular video for new people, running up going, well, what is this case about? And, oh my God, what happened? What day was it? How did he do it? That is all out there, okay, you guys? In this video, like I say, I'm just getting started. I'm going to get this rolling. There will be a part 2, and I will continue because we have a lot of ground to cover in the Watts case. What I am particularly interested in, other than supporting the victim and her family and defending her and sharing bits of my story that will give people some kind of understanding as to what it is like to be a parallel to Chris and Shanann, with a strong, outgoing, loving, motivated female personality type, and then a man who is a different personality type, more reserved and covert narcissistic all the way. I don't care what anyone says. These people out here saying Shanann was the narcissist and Chris isn't guilty. He wasn't a narcissist. These people out here saying all this freaking crap. Get over it. He was. He really was. Live abuse free. I love her channel. I love her work. If you're really interested in understanding more about the covert narcissistic mind and as it pertains to this case, Chris and Shanann, look up Live Abuse Free. She really will help you also understand this mindset and do your research. I mean, before sitting there, do your research. If you haven't lived with a covert narcissist and you really haven't been in those shoes, so you can't really see what those of us who have lived with a covert narcissist can see, what we can tell, and you'll just have a whole, at least try to do your research, at least try to understand something before you sit and a bunch of victims. That just doesn't make any sense to me. It just really doesn't. But like I say, this video is not going to be too long. We'll get it kicked off, and then we'll come back in part 2, because the second most important thing to me in this case is the relational dynamics. Those are the things I want to explore. I'm going to be exploring the spiritual side of this and what I have felt since running upon this case, and the spiritual aspects. And I think I've already put out a video about this, but we're going to do it again. We're going to get more deeply into it, because I believe both. There were some very serious psychological issues going on that we can all learn about and just get us to thinking and being aware. Relational dynamics with couples are very important to me. I've been working on these things all of my life too. So yeah, those are the types of things I want to delve into. What she was really going through and thinking, and what he was really going through, and their childhoods, and how all of this came into play. Because believe it or not, it does. And these people just glossing over the top of it and going, oh, he was provoked. He just snapped and just couldn't take anymore because he was so emasculated. And he just couldn't take anymore because his mother and his wife were both at him. And he was poor, pitiful. Chris was just, even if you don't say it like that, if you say those words, he was so emasculated. All the women in his life, just in that one sentence, you just blamed all the women in his life. Let me finish my sentence before I tell you that. I was going to say, a covert narcissist emasculates himself. We're going to get into that later. I'm going to tell you how. I'll tell you exactly how. So I'm sick of hearing it. She emasculated him, and no, there's no way. Okay? Now, yes, there are some highly narcissistic, sick-ass women out there who are psychologically effed up. They are mean to their children, their sons, and they damage their mind, and they're very abusive. And then there are, women who become people's wives who do the same thing. That is out there. But Shanann was not one of those women. That is not, I feel that with 100% everything, okay? Because I have been in a very similar situation where people thought that about me, where I looked like that, where there's a fine line there, okay, between being a strong woman who knows what you want from life and having this beautiful bleeding heart that would do anything for your man, and just you have an aura, an attitude, but you are not the least bit emasculating to him. In fact, behind closed doors, when nobody sees, when the camera's off, you're literally having to kiss his ass all the time. Yes, baby. Okay, I got you, baby. Okay, don't worry, baby. Calm down. Okay. Because they are like children. You don't fucking get it. None of those people get it, nor will they ever get it. I think a lot of them are just hell-bent, okay? They are either doing it for algorithm, to cause shock and build hatred and, whatever the hell ever. They don't even care about really understanding other human beings, and so that we can make a difference, so that maybe this won't have to happen to anybody else, so that we can spread awareness and become better people. I don't think most of those trolls really even give a shit. But, okay, don't let me lose point here. Emasculating. I get so fucking sick of people here saying that. If this was a true case where a woman, and you better believe me, that I would stand up for the man. So I'm going to get that clear right here and now. I am very balanced about that, okay? I have worked long and hard on healing my own feminine and masculine energies so that I can be more healed and more receptive to the masculine. And, all of those things, we can talk about them all in the future. If this was a case where I felt and saw on that woman that she was just an abusive, uncaring bitch, narcissistic, just treating a really great man like dirt, you better believe that I would be taking that man's side and upholding him. I have brothers, I have sons. I love the men in my life, and I do not believe in good men being abused, tormented, mistreated, manipulated, lied to, betrayed, or just because they might be kind and gentle, spoken to with a messed up tone, or emasculated, like they say. Yes, there are ways that certain women can emasculate a man if she is too unhealed and too much in her masculine. But oftentimes, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, that it was nothing to do with him, but a lot of times, in my experience, and we have to be careful not to project our experience onto a case, I got that. But in my experience, I can see this shit on people. What I have lived through is the man emasculated himself before he ever got to me. Now, whether that started in his early life with a woman, his mother, his stepmother, his first wife, might have. I'm not saying that that's not a very big possibility. And in Chris Watts' case, yes. And in some of my past relationships experience, yes. It started with a woman. The rage, the mistreatment. Oh, there's so much we're going to get into, you guys. So, very likely that started back in Chris Watts' early life with a female, narcissistic female, abusive, neglectful female. Sure. But by the time he got to Shanann, I feel 100% that no, he had already been emasculated. See, this is where people need to stop it. Oh, I see these comments all the time. People just don't even think about it. No, Chris Watts was unhealed in his masculine, very unhealed, inferior, insecure, threatened, weird about, and she saw that as vulnerable and sweet, and I should give this guy a chance. Okay, he'll come along, and that's a very dangerous game to play, because that's what those covert narcissists live on. They to make you feel sorry for them, or make you feel like, oh, you sweet little thing, you just need some guidance and love and you'll be okay. Be very careful with that. So in this case, though, I 100% feel like, out of all the interviews, all the energy I've taken in off of them, all the studying I've done on the case, and my past experience, that gives you a lot of damn insight into people, okay? And I've done a lot of studying on this case. No, Chris was already emasculated when he got to Shanann. Probably by early women, and it was his job to heal that shit, to go to therapy before he fucking got married. It was his job to heal those wounds. So Chris already felt he was unhealed in his masculine, needed to balance his masculine and feminine. When a man is unhealed in his masculine and he doesn't feel right, even if he looks like a masculine and he tries to act like a masculine, a lot of them don't feel, okay? If a man is very wounded or weird about something, or something's unhealed from his mother or his past, he is not very strong in his masculine. All kinds of things are going to happen. I was in a relationship identical to it. All kinds of weird things are going to go astray. He's going to put you in charge. This is a bait and switch, and nobody on the outside knows about it. And it drives me crazy because I need to let people know it. He already got to her emasculated. He already felt that way. And when a man is not healed in his masculine, then it forces the woman to be more in her masculine to keep up with him. When he is not healed in his masculine, it means he's too far over in his feminine. As this would pertain to a heterosexual couple who identifies as masculine and as feminine. This is not to get into different gender things. People can be whatever they want, but that's what I'm referring to. When a man who identifies as a man, as a masculine, isn't healed in that masculine area, and that puts him too far over in his feminine and very childlike and very, it's just certain things. And that's, damn, I have to explain all these things because I've been so used to being gaslighted and attacked. And that's not to say people can't be vulnerable and men can't have feelings. Of course they can. But I'm talking about manipulative fucking snakes who whine and pout and act fucking childlike and ridiculous and irresponsible at the worst fucking times ever. And then fuck with you constantly, spiteful, vengeful. I'm talking about a whole different breed, honey. I'm not talking about a man being sensitive. I can handle that all day. A man like that deserves to be able to cry, to be able to speak, to be able to receive love and comfort and loyalty and have a safe space to feel those feelings in. So don't ever get it twisted. I'm not talking about that. A man can be sensitive all he wants and have feelings. No, I'm talking about a fucking snake. I'm talking about someone who is not mentally developed all the way and who plays on those emotions in a very different way, okay? So let's just leave that there. Chris Watts came into the damn relationship emasculated. No, I'm in here.
What happened to the blue moon? That bird slung him clear across there.
Sorry,
It
you
was in the
guys.
bush drain. What happened to him?
I don't know. I'll be out in a minute.
He disappeared.
I'll find it. He was already damaged from his childhood when he got into this relationship, which he was still very young, 24. That's a baby. That is a baby. I remember 24. I wasn't nearly as mentally and emotionally developed as I am now. And they were together 8 years. So these are some of the things we're going to break down in the next couple of videos, guys. We're going to continue on with this, talking about the masculine and feminine, the imbalance there, how it forces a woman, and all the inside secrets and tricks and bait and switch, and what's really behind that curtain, behind that mask that most people don't know. They don't understand how this works, okay? And I want to get into the control aspect. A lot of people talk about that. So let's recap for a minute before I cut this off because, oh my God, I've already almost done 30 minutes and I didn't intend to. Let's recap. All right, we're talking about the Watts case and the things that I see pointed out most often about how this man just snapped and he was so emasculated and she did this and that, and all this victim blaming crapola. With all my heart, this is one case, okay? I've never known of another case where they completely went after the victim like that and just picked her apart about stupid shit too. What kind of car she had, what kind of food she made, what's she do in the morning, how she looked. I mean, are y'all like, what's wrong with you people? The people doing that, don't y'all have a life? It's ridiculous. Anyway, so, all right. We're discussing the Watts case, and we're going to break this down, each video, into just certain dynamics, because that is what is important to me. I'm not too concerned right now with who did what, how they did this, and why we're here. You know, we're going to talk about the relational dynamics between those two people and their childhoods. A covert narcissist slithers into your life. They're already fucked up when they get to you. So for all these people thinking this was just something that she could have done to make him a murderer like that, you can't do it. There's nothing you could ever do on this earth, I don't care how mean you are, to make somebody murder you. That's what these people aren't getting. No, he didn't just snap. He planned this. It was premeditated. He did not just snap because his wife was too much pressure, because his mother was too much pressure, because he didn't want to deal with them. He wanted to run off with his girlfriend, and he just finally snapped under all the pressure. He couldn't take being emotionally abused and emasculated by his wife anymore. You've got it wrong. It doesn't just happen like that. This is something that goes way, way, way back, that probably started with his own mother, most likely. I've got a lot to say about that too. There's just so much. And we're going to get into that in part 2, okay? The emasculating part, we're going to talk about that. And these twists and turns of the covert narc. But like I said, there's so much that we're going to do it little thing by little thing. So in part 2, we're going to talk again about the masculine-feminine imbalance and how the covert narc comes in and pushes their way in your life, and all of these tricks and traps and personality traits, and they start setting things up where it looks like you are trying to control them, where it looks like you, but they are the ones behind the scenes, putting you in control, insisting you do everything because they're so insecure about it. Doesn't matter how many times you say, "Are you sure?" We're going to get into all of that, you guys, okay? In this particular case, though, no. He came to her like that, and it wasn't her. I don't give a shit about her attitude. I don't give a shit about her motivation. I don't care what she sounded like in those little videos that she did. You're a whole different person a lot of times on camera than you are. I was talking about that with a friend today. I'll be on camera. You just about have to have some attitude and be a little bit narcissistic to have a damn YouTube channel and do public content. You have to have some kind of showmanship, some kind of attitude for the public. I mean, come on. Those videos, and Chris didn't talk a lot, and she was like, "Hey, grab me this. Yeah, come on." She was kind of sarcastic. Look, behind closed doors, I was talking about that with a friend today. When I'm on camera, and then I'm just, this and this and this, and when the camera's off, I'm like fucking over in the corner crying and shit, and over here scrubbing floors, and you never know. You really never do. But I can almost 100% guarantee with that couple, it was not that woman abusing that man. There were things going on behind closed doors that you will deal with a covert narcissist, that it is the worst nightmare. They will drive you insane, like another child. And you didn't know that's what you were getting into. And I firmly believe that happened in the Watts case. And there's so much more to them than meets the eye. And I want people to be aware. Just be aware what goes on with covert narcissists and how tricky they are. How they don't take any accountability for anything. And they're the poor, innocent, sweet little people that want to... I'm nice, I just want to get that out there. I've got to cut this video off because it's getting too long. But please join me again in part 2. And I just can't stand it. I just see so much out there. And I feel like I need to do my part. And then I'm going to let it go. I will never be able to change the world all the way. That's not what I'm out for. I will never be able to stop all the haters, hatred, the ignorance. I'll never be able to do that, but I can do my part to put this information and insight out there, because I'm grateful to the people who have done that on other channels, who have broken this type of thing down and really helped me to understand some things going on in my life before my own eyes. I appreciate that. And all right, guys. Well, I hope you guys got something out of this video, some value or some type of awareness, information. And I hate to kind of leave you hanging like that, but we're going to continue this in part 2. I promise. I'm going to get my notes ready, and we're going to get deep off into who's really in control. Who's really controlling who in a covert narcissistic relationship? Who's really the toxic control freak? It's not who you would think. The strong, outgoing woman with OCD tendencies and just so particular and wants everything and, can be sarcastic and so fucking what? Doesn't mean she's the toxic one. Doesn't mean that she didn't have absolute love for her family. These covert narcissistic snakes are getting away with ruining the energy, the spirit, and the reputation of good people. So we're going to get into it in the next part. Who is really the toxic controller? Thinking that he's sitting behind the scenes, smirking, driving people crazy, and all these psychological attacks, and pulling strings, and throwing people off balance, and resentful of trying to compete with their own wife, like some little child. Who's really controlling who in a situation like that? And that is something that the general public cannot see. They are blinded to this shit. And I have got so many little tidbits and insight into what I went through in a very similar situation, examples, and we're going to get all into that in part 2 and back into the Watts case. Okay? All right, guys. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.